Hello everyone, it is Toby from Toby's WonderShare, and today we are doing a little 10-minute challenge. So the point of these is to play with our ink, our pens and our watercolours and have some fun, relax and just experiment a bit. I haven't done one for a little while, but I have got rather a number of these up on the channel if you want to check the past ones out. And I've had a couple of people ask me to do some more, so sure, let's do a couple more, they're good fun. So I'm going to be starting with a 0.3mm fine liner. We've got our reference photo up here, which is a photo from my hometown on the way into the centre of town. And let's see what we make of it. Now I'm going to start in the middle of the image with this sort of row of houses. And we're going to do some just really loose lines. We're going to try and capture this interesting perspective, perhaps even exaggerate some of the perspective as this house comes towards us. And then we've got a nice little interaction between these two houses here. The close one being quite a lot lower and a bit set back. Just lets us sort of place a few objects in the scene, and interactions between objects I always think are more interesting than just objects on their own. Going off into the distance, we've got just a few sort of houses, suggestions of houses. For a 10-minute challenge, we can just do some really little lines. And of course, we've got this church, haven't we, coming in, just a little edge of it. So line up the bottom of the church with the right sort of area, which is about here. So if the bottom of the church was here, it would bring it far too far forward in the image. Then we can just bring in the sort of big shapes. It's kind of just a rectangle, isn't it? With another little rectangle on top. And then cutting through the church is our foreground structure, which just provides a nice frame and some contrast as well, because it's all deeply shadowed, isn't it? It also has this pavement coming round, which is another bit of framing. And if we pick out a few smaller details in this church, we've got a sort of wall in front of it. We've got this arch-like window, it's a door, and a few windows up and down. Just little suggestions, because remember this is all a really quick bit of sketching. Same up here, we've got a couple of windows. And then we've got these interesting shapes of some trees in the background. A little bit of tree action there as well. Okay, so we've got the main shapes now, haven't we? So let's just start choosing a few details that we want to pick out. So we've obviously got this sort of shop front. It's called the refill shop. It's a little green shop. Green both in colour and in the fact it's environmentally friendly. Multi-purpose green. Just we can set the door back there as well, just by putting a little bit of tone in. And we just apply some reflections, shadows in that window. We can then just start building it, surrounding details, just mapping those windows in quickly. We can get this window back here, which is much more shadowed. There's another door hiding around this corner as well, isn't there? Again, really dark and shadowed. We can just imply that with some nice lines. And do you see how just with these few details, it's sort of very quickly coming together. We've got to be aware of the perspective of these windows, so as we go away, just follow these lines, and they also should get narrower and narrower as they're getting further away from us. I'm not worrying about getting it exactly right in terms of size and number of windows, but just getting the right feel. How are we doing? So we're doing pretty well. So on 4 minutes total of video. So we've got time for a few more details, then, haven't we? That means we can just start adding a few more shapes. So got this little window just creeping in this house here, and again I think that adds another element of contrast and shape that will just frame things really nicely. We've got a sort of drain pipe coming in here, and some windows. So it's just about picking out a few details, and they don't have to be beautifully made out. They can be these sort of loose suggestions of shape. So we could pop in these chimneys with just a couple of lines really. and that's enough to show the viewer what is there, their window. We can even add some of these people. And people can be really easy. Just a head, and the head's at the right level if we arc along towards the top of this doorway. Body and the feet. We place the feet and then we can join everything up. And we can pop in, there's another person here. Same thing, you see how the head's still on that line of perspective. Place the feet at the right place on the tarmac, and then we've got them in. It's just some road markings maybe. We can do that with a pen as well. Get this pavement in. I say the pen, we do it with the colours as well. We can get some little textures just to pull the roof apart from the wall of the house. And I think that's us done. It's about 5 minutes of sketching. And let's move on to some colours. I'm going to use, because it's a quick challenge, a big brush, so size 2 mop, lots of water holding capacity. And we're going to go top down. I'm going to hold the paper up slightly just to give it a bit of an angle. Now I'll let the colours just drip through. We don't need to colour everything in. Even in a longer form sketch, we don't have to colour everything in. That's a cobalt blue there, and if I just pop in a little bit of this yellow, which is an Indian yellow, we can start getting a sort of murky green. Pop a little bit of phthalo green as well, just to liven that up. And if I just dry off my brush, I can then move those colours around and kind of start using them as shade, but also to map out. See how we can map out the shape of this building, and we can map out the shape of this building as well. Suddenly our buildings have got this sort of lovely negative space feeling. Now there isn't a huge amount of shadow coming down this road, but it is, in terms of tone, it's darker than those white buildings, so we can still use this sort of murky grey just to get that idea. And again, we can bring that along. We can get our buildings in, include this little bit which is in shadow, we can get it into sort of being mapped out in this negative space idea. Nice cheat for not having to paint everything, isn't it? How are we doing? So we've still got a few minutes. Just going to do a few splashes just to fill up this sort of felt empty now. And then this building is definitely in shadow, isn't it? And it's, in terms of tone, it's probably similar, but maybe a little darker even than the pavement. So let's give it a slightly warm shadow. I'm going to go for, I've got a Perylene Violet and a bit of quinacridone, so it's going to be a warm, deep shadow. And this will just, again, it will help with this idea of things being in negative space. All these bright buildings, which we're more interested, will suddenly stand out. Just keeping a little bit of space between these colours, but then I'm going to join them up as well in a couple of places. Sort of do a little bit of blending with a dry brush. We can do that back here as well if we want to just pull out some shape. Maybe we make this wall a little warmer as well. And now, what else do we want to do some little touches to? Let's give our roof some tone, just with a tiny bit of our Perylene Violet, or a nice, just a warm shadow colour, and then start pulling out a little bit of colour into just a few points, like our windows. Nice blue day, so they can be reflecting that sky. And then we can just take in some like generic murky colour and get a bit more depth into the front of this building. And we can certainly amp up some of these shadows now. And let's give our people some shadows. Get some shadows under our church, just where there's going to be those key areas which have got shadow, and we're expecting shadow. Okay, how are we doing? Oh, 1 more minute, so how can we get a little bit more punch here? So we've got some nice negative space, things jumping out of this. We've got nice shadows. We haven't really got a big punch of lively colour. One thing I love adding colour for is road markings. Such an interesting way of just putting them down, is a bit of wet on wet yellow, letting them sort of sing through the image. And we can reflect some of these colours just elsewhere. Perhaps our people can be these little sparks of yellow. They can come little bits of yellow, sort of adding tone and implying shadow, but still being bright. Just dropping it around in a couple of places, becoming more unified. And then I think the last thing I'm going to do in my last few seconds is splash just some water into our sky. I might even use my fingers just to get some bigger splashes. And just lift out some areas of light, maybe back here, or even, let's go the opposite, let's get a bit more tone going in those dark bits of distance. And still being wet, I can let that paint itself for a couple of seconds. And I haven't cheated too badly, I've probably gone a little bit over my professed 10-minute challenge. And there we go. So that is my little 10-minute challenge of this interesting street in St Yachts. We've got sort of joined up, we've done a lot of negative space painting. We've got some people in, we've got punches of light. It's going to continue to sort of mellow and move because everything's still a bit wet. So we've got a couple of minutes of letting it paint itself. Of course, pop your signature on. And then I will show you the completed image, as if by magic, just now. And here we go, it is now nice and dry. And as ever, we've done our 10-minute challenge. There's always a couple of things we can do to lift it a little bit. And one is a little bit of extra ink, for example, to bring out some of these shapes. Particularly, let's say, some of these bits which are faded to the back. And bold pen work tends to bring things forward. So that's why it sort of lifts it forward. Just adding these extra lines. Don't want to overdo it, but just in a few key little places, a few key details, we can really just bring something a little bit extra out. And maybe emphasize a few shapes, for example, as well. And there we go, that's probably enough of that, but it's already just a little bit crisper, a little bit clearer. And then of course the other thing we can do is we can add little few touches of colour again. So perhaps you want a little bit more clarity to some of these road markings, a bit bolder with the yellow. So we can come in with a couple of touches. And they can also come into this church, for example, and just implies a bit of light. If we take this yellow all the way to this other building, we're emphasising the change from dark to light. So it really shows the moving structures. We can take some of our murky colour and we can do the same just along some key areas. Just get a little bit of shape under these eaves, for example. Just a bit of shape in here, on the sides of the chimneys. Just these tiny touches can really add the next level. And we've lost some shadow here, haven't we, in this chappie, so they can get their shadow back. These tiny little touches just adding a little bit of extra shape and texture. Another thing I notice is this area is quite wide and empty. That scene changed with just some little textural marks, almost dry brushing. We can blend some of those away if we think they're too much. We could even touch little bits of yellow in there. And there we go. A totally finished, slightly cheating 10-minute challenge. Just as extra little touches, lifting it a tiny bit further, making it that much clearer. And there we go. So thank you for watching. The reference is in the description. If you enjoyed it, feel free to share what you've done with me on Instagram as well, of course. And looking forward to having you along for the next one.